Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today is a very special day because we are talking about knives less than $100.
If you're not trying to break the bank, this video is for you.
Let's talk knives. All right, Sarah, so I've broken down this list into three broad categories.
Yes.
On this side, we have folders. Then we have fixed blades, and then we have autos, bow songs, OTFs.
Random.
Which kind of got lumped together for something we'll talk about later. But in each category, we're gonna have outdoor, we're gonna have EDC, tactical, hunting, and a few wild cards along the way.
Yeah, we're gonna cover all the bases. And I do like already that we're seeing some knives we don't really talk about.
Yeah, and that was the big thing. We've heard from you guys, we've heard you guys talk about this knife over and over and over again. That knife is awesome, and you know the one you're thinking of. Exactly. But we have some of those, and we also have some that we don't talk too much about. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's jump right in.
All right, so the first knife on the table, Kershaw Iridium. This one happens to be the mini, and I think this is an outdoor knife.
Okay.
And my thought on that is full metal construction, nice, strong, I guess they're calling it a Duralock over at Kershaw. Good ergonomics, a nice broad blade, tough D2 steel. This would be a great one to take camping.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you guys have seen this one before, and I think you already know. It is very versatile, so I think outdoor is a good use for it. Obviously, it can be EDC as well, but I love the Iridium. I use mine quite often. I do use it for more EDC stuff, but I would definitely not shy away from bringing it on like a camping trip or hiking.
Yeah, you got the fancy Iridium you get for having been at Blade HQ for a year.
The special Blade HQ edition.
I got the Polar back in the day. Mine has a brass scale, so
hey,
that's
it's still cool.
Yep, and then next up for an EDC option,
Oh.
CIVIVI Elementum 2.
Yeah, I love this one. We have the classic, just full blackout version, and this is the button lock. As you guys know, the OG was just the regular liner lock. So.
Yeah, and what I like about this guy, hollow grind. So you're gonna have a really thin edge. You wanna learn why that matters, check out our edge geometry video.
Yeah.
But it's just gonna give you great slicing performance through packaging, food, and whatever else you're cutting every day.
Yeah, it's very light, so easy to keep in your pocket all the time.
Yep, and a nice deep carry pocket clip.
Yeah,
Very
love CIVIVI.
exciting. Yep, and now for tactical, I went a predictable direction that has a little bit of an extra bonus with it.
Yeah, I haven't seen these in a while, so you tell them about me.
Okay. Okay, I'll tell them about you. So next up, we have a tactical option, which has a bit of an extra flair going with it. So we have Kershaw CQC 6K Emerson design, has the wave opener as well as a thumb disc. And apparently, we learned this in the comments a little while ago. This was originally made for parrying, like in a knife fight.
Oh, interesting.
But it actually works really well at hooking on your pocket and opening really fast, too.
Yeah, that seems like the more reasonable use for it, but obviously I don't know much about knife fighting. But it seems really cool.
I hope I never learn.
Yeah.
But the other thing I'll mention is you can also get the trainer version of it and still be less than 100, getting both the live edge and the trainer. So
that's nice.
Hit the gym with this guy. If you're around Utah, go check out my buddy Patrick Odell. He will teach you all how to use this, and you'll probably get a few bruises and bumps along the way. And then when you hit the streets, carry the real one.
There you go. I think it's a good starting point. I know I'd be scared of using a knife in a tactical setting, but getting more comfortable with it with a trainer, I think, is definitely the route to go.
Yep, it's kind of fun to practice all your grips and grapples and all that good stuff.
There you go.
Very nice. And then for hunting,
as expected, but still a good one.
It's not hard to beat, the Buck 110 Folding Hunter. Been a classic for coming up on 60 years, maybe a little more now.
Traditional.
Yep, made in the USA, backed by a great warranty. And here's a cool fun fact. You see this handle? It's made of ebony, and this is offcuts from the same ebony that Taylor guitars are made out of.
Oh, really? I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, so when Taylor makes guitars, they're very picky about their tone woods, and they have a very nicely managed forest so that in 100 years they can still be making guitars.
Interesting.
And whatever they don't use, Buck takes, and they make knife handles out of. So,
hey,
super cool.
Bucks are super reliable. They have a great heat treat on them, as you guys know, with the Boss heat treat. I just was lucky enough to get a 110 with the silver bolsters.
Ooh,
it's the
fancy.
auto. So yeah, a little fancier.
That'll take you above the $100 price point.
Yeah, but as a knife itself, I think it's awesome. I haven't quite got to use it yet. I don't do much hunting, but I'm sure is very slicey.
I don't do much hunting either. Yep. Once again, hollow grind, glides through stuff, and the Boss heat treat holds its edge like no other.
Oh yeah, they're great. And then
we got a hard user.
There we go.
And its name is the Cold Steel Voyager. And this is kind of standing in for any Cold Steel Triad lock, whichever one speaks to your soul. Most of them are going to be under that $100 price point, especially these ones with the polymer handles. Nice grip, super strong, AUS 10A blade steel. I mean, it's a cold steel.
I know. We can't say, too many good things about it, but they're awesome. I think the handle is nice and thick, and you can really feel it in your hand with ergonomics. So even if you have gloves on, this thing is still going to be very usable. And it has the extended jimping on the spine, so you can choke up on it if you need to. But yeah, I would not be afraid to use this.
Beat the
anywhere.
tar out of it.
Yeah, and especially because it's not, titanium and crazy expensive materials. Because it is a more budget-friendly knife, you won't be as worried of maybe breaking it or doing something super rough. You could just go out and buy another one.
Yeah, and that's something I think is worth mentioning here. Like a lot of people who maybe even aren't on a budget normally would carry something like a Sabenza or something really expensive. I think a lot of them would go for something like this because who wants to use their Sabenza to pry a nail out of a tire or something?
Exactly.
But I'll use my Voyager for it.
Yeah, it's good to have a beater knife along with all of your really expensive ones.
Yeah. Now we got some wild cards on this one.
Okay.
The first one is a brand that I have no idea why we don't talk more about, and that is Case Knives.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of awesome stuff lately.
Traditional. This one's a trapper. This one's a lot of fun because it's got the micarta handle, so it's going to patina all nice. Got two nice blades. Got the Spyderco. I'll let your mind run wild as to what that's for. And the clip point blade, but they're useful for more than just trapping, like anything. This is probably the best-selling traditional pocket knife ever because it's just so versatile, useful, and affordable.
Right, yeah, like you said, versatile. I think slip joints are known to be the traditional old-timer knife, obviously dating back to many, many decades ago. And so people back then were using them as their only knife that they had. So they're already going to be reliable. And I think it's super cool, like the Buck. It has these high-end, almost premium materials on it. I would consider micarta pretty, you see micarta on higher-end knives. And the fact that you can get this on a knife under 100, I think is awesome. So
yeah,
win-win.
I think of like Case's history. They're around from 1800s. I wonder how many Case trappers were in the pockets of U.S. soldiers during World War II.
Oh, I'm sure many.
Yeah, I know that the Fairbairn Sykes and the K-Bar kind of get all the glory because they were on the outside, but these were in the pockets, and I'll be willing to bet there were more of them.
Yeah, I'm sure they pull those out when it's something like they're just at their camp or something.
Making some food.
Yeah, exactly. It's their Old Reliable.
Old Reliable. I think that's a great nickname for the Case trapper.
There you go.
Yep. Next up, this one is, every time we talk about sub-$100 knives or anything in that budget realm, we're like, what about the CIVIVI Vision FG? It's so good. Why didn't you talk about it? Well, here I am talking about it.
I know, we really don't highlight it enough, but I mean, I just want to talk about how freaking pointy that blade is. It's wild, like reverse tanto. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love how we have a nice, almost distal taper because of how the blade angles down and its flat grind is angled up and they meet, and giving you almost needle-like performance.
Right, and then the Sneck super lock.
Yes, super
So
fidgety. And also really strong.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's comparable to lots of other folding EDC knives. Oops.
Yep, and then we also have a reversible pocket clip, so for all you lefties, this is one of the best knives on the table for you.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I put it in as a wild card though because this is kind of off the beaten path. We see a lot of drop points, clip points.
It's true.
But this one has a bit of an out there lock and a bit of an out there blade shape, but it all just works.
Yeah, it's very distinct, and I think that's why people like it. They like the things that don't really look like the others. So it fits.
The last on the folder side we have is the Vosteed Raccoon.
Yeah.
So Vosteed's a fairly new brand at Blade HQ.
Yep.
And the Raccoon is a great model. Crossbar lock, nice blade, everything. Great EDC knife. And I grabbed the Stormtrooper version because Star Wars is super cool. And my thought is, one day you're going to cut yourself, right? It happens to us all.
I already know where you're going with this.
You get the red handprint on the Stormtrooper.
Kind of concerning and gross, but also cool.
You know, I mean, what's his name? John Boyega, that
There
guy.
you go.
Whatever his character's name is.
Hey,
Finn, there it is.
It adds to the character of it. I dig it.
Sorry, I watched the sequel trilogy once, and
But you love Star Wars, so I get why you picked this one because of your Star Wars Kalashnikov that was your wedding knife.
My wedding knife, and I also have a Mandalorian-themed strike.
There you go.
So I guess I'm just gonna have to get this guy. And maybe I'll just get my hand like some red paint or something and get the red handprint. I think it'd be fun.
That'd be like some Michael Myers thing with like the volleyball and the face.
Okay.
Right, Michael Myers?
Or we'll just leave it white. Once Michael Myers comes in.
Hey, you put me in the thought process. That's where I was going.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna own that one. Next up. So we're gonna let you drive. This is the fixed blade knife section.
Wonderful. So it looks like first up we have a cold steel SRK.
Yep, and I put this guy in as a
greasy guy.
hard use.
Yeah.
Can we talk about knife juice for a minute?
Please.
So the grease on there is because this is SK5 tool steel. So very tough, can take a beating. However, it is a carbon steel and it might rust on you. And since these are made
Makes
in Taiwan
sense.
and they ship overseas and whatnot, they put this grease on there to protect it from any corrosion.
It's very smart of them. Obviously, they want to maintain their product.
Yep, this is the compact version, but you can get the full size as well in the same price point.
Yeah, I know our blue one that we have, gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have it anymore. Sorry, guys, but
Yeah, we
that
had
was
one
a
in
cool
the
one.
library, and I was like, can we show
You
that?
held off.
I held off. That one was
That's
super
all right.
legit.
But this one comes with a nice sheath. You can strap it onto a backpack or a belt if you really wished.
Or even the
But,
vest, you have the right attachment
yeah,
stuff.
Molly loops and everything. So that's a good hard use one. You wouldn't be afraid to use it because, like I said earlier, it's more budget. I
Yeah.
don't think any of these fixed blades you should be afraid to use because of the price. Because then if something happens, you just go ahead and get a new one.
Yep.
So I think that's the point of the video, really.
Use it, abuse it, and replace it if need be. But honestly, I don't think you're going to have to replace hardly any of these. They're all really well done.
Oh yeah, they're gonna last a while, but if it does come to the point, you'll at least have good peace of mind. But next up, we have the Spyderco Bow River.
Yes.
Very classic, slicey
Yeah,
fixed blade.
my favorite thing about this guy is, in addition to being a Spyderco, who are known for their incredible slicey grinds, is you get a really thick slab of G10 on the handle.
Yeah.
And I know that like blocks of G10 are fairly pricey, and the fact that you're getting one on a Spyderco, so you know it's got the best designs, heat treats, etc.
Right.
But you also have a really nice handle that gives you a nice smooth grip. It's going to be impervious to the elements. I love it.
I know, and I like how Spyderco almost went in like a Japanese style with this. It's not like what you see with a lot of regular Spydercos, and so they decided to give it that extra little flair for their fixed blade. And I think this can be used in a lot of different situations, whether you're hunting, cooking, fishing, anything like that. So
Yeah, in fact, I believe I
All
brought it
around.
on as the hunting option because
Yeah.
I think that grind would just glide through hides and whatnot.
yeah, it's also a very pretty knife, so I like it.
Yes. And then next up in the outdoor world,
The Essie Azula
needs no introduction. You guys have seen it a million
in
times.
the bright fire ant red, as we were talking about earlier, how it's just so vibrant, it's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah. I will say about SE is the warranty you're getting. I would pay an extra $100 for just that warranty on another knife, but you're getting it for less on this guy.
It is. I remember going to the shows. I think when we were just at SHOT Show, I know you weren't there, sadly, for the second day.
Sad.
But I was at the SE booth, and they always have on display all the knives that people send in for their warranties, and you see they're all beaten up and chewed and cracked and everything. And I just think it's crazy the things people do with their knives.
And they just replace them.
Exactly. But even crazier that SE will just be like, you know what, props to you for using it. We're just going to send you a new one. So I think that is what you're buying with the price of all these knives, is the warranty. So that's why we recommend SE.
So every time I see that board at the shows,
Yeah.
I always see their SE5 just welded to it, and it's got this giant chip out of the edge.
Like
And
a
I'm
bullet
like,
hole.
what did you do? Did you shoot it or baton a bolt or something? I have no idea. How do you break an SE5? It's a quarter-inch thick.
It beats me, but if I had one in my hand, I would also feel the same power and strength to go beat it up.
Yep.
So I get it. But going along with the same big fixed blade feel, we have the Gerber Strong Arm.
Oh yeah, a trusted beater,
Yeah.
especially in the tactical world. In fact, I think that's why it's here. It's a tactical knife.
Yeah, exactly. And this one has a nice big rubber handle. It has a huge thick blade on it, so you're going to be able to do a lot of beating with this knife. You're not going to be afraid of cracking the blade or anything like that.
Yeah, one of my favorite channels that reviews fixed blades is Gideon's Tactical, and he sent this on a gauntlet where he sent it to a bunch of different people and said, just try to break it.
Right.
And none of them did. They beat the tar out of the strong
It's
arm, and it
impressive.
just keeps coming back.
Yeah. And I believe, does this have a full tang in it? Or is it
Full, it's not
partial?
exposed along the sides, but it does run the full length of the handle.
Okay, nice. So yeah, you're going to get that reliability all the way through the handle, so.
Yep, and
That's pretty
then
good.
we also have a nice sheath that comes with this back plate as well as this little, let's see if I can get it out, maybe not. There's a little shim in here, so if you want to put this on molly webbing, scout carry on a belt, vertical, however you want to carry it, right out of the box, it's ready to go.
Yeah, it's very adaptable. I would definitely use this for camping. I know it kind of worked alongside of their whole Gerber camp set campaign that they did. So I think that's a great one for those situations as well. And then one of your favorites, as you were telling me before we were on screen.
The fact that people aren't talking about this knife more, I will never understand.
So this is the QSB Canary. This is the full size. They also make a mini Canary.
A little neck knife.
Which we had in our pocket fixed blade video.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the larger version with the big slabs of micarta for the scales, full tang all the way through, and a massive blade on this thing.
Yeah, so let's talk about that blade for a minute. I'm trying to remember the full alphabet soup name of its blade steel, but it's basically a equivalent to Sleipner blade steel, which is sort of like a zhuzhed up D2 for toughness and wear resistance.
Pretty good.
And you see it on a lot of like Iron Lion steel fixed blades.
Yeah.
It has great edge retention. It can take an absolute beating. I love this blade steel, and you are getting it for like 60 or 70 bucks on this guy.
Oh yeah, it's great. And I do think another perk of bigger fixed blades, more specifically this one, we haven't seen it yet, is you can take the things off, the scales off, and clean it out. Not that you would really need to.
I mean, if you skin an elk or something.
Yeah, there's adaptability to it to make sure there's nothing like sitting in the grooves or anything. But great versatility. On
the sheath, we have Taco Kydex, and look how slim this is. Sometimes those Kydex sheaths turn into pancakes or fry an egg on them.
Yeah.
And this thing, it just snaps in just right. Just a teeniest little bit of rattle, but nothing too terrible.
Yeah.
And an adjustable back thing. You want to go scout, you want to go
that's nice.
Upside down, no tools.
You don't have to be unscrewing stuff.
Yeah.
Very
it's
nice.
so good. QSP Canary, go get one.
Yeah,
they've
been kind of lurking in the shadows a bit, QSP, but I think in the future we should see some cool stuff from them.
Yes, I certainly hope so.
I know. And then we have this cool old timer.
Yeah,
you told me about this one. I haven't seen this before.
Extra special. So Old Timer is a brand that's been around for a century or more now, a very long time.
Yeah.
And at some point along the way, they were acquired and they moved their manufacturing overseas.
Right.
And that kind of hurt a lot of people. They love the USA made. But recently, this is the Old Timer Sharpfinger Heritage, I want to say, generational Sharpfinger.
Yeah.
And it is made in the USA. And not only that, but it is made with 1095 high carbon steel. That's why you see this 1095 HC on the blade.
Okay.
But I think it's kind of funny because the packaging says stainless steel. But I'm like, you're selling yourself short. This is like faithful to the original. Like your grandpa had this knife and he still carries it and he would never give it to you because this is a really nice one. It is back. In 2025, you can get a brand new one, USA made, for like 90 bucks. Less than 100 bucks? Oh, I'm all over
You're in love, clearly.
I'm in love. Yep. Jig bone, 1095, nice shield inlay.
It's nice. I'd say the fact that it is USA made is crazy that it's under $100. And for a nice little skinning knife, I think it's an easy one to pick up. You have the belt loop here on your sheath. Nice little latch here so your knife stays in place. Easily accessible if you're hunting. I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and the deep slicey bellies, like great for caping, for skinning, for even like some butcher work. It's just such a great knife, and I love that it's USA made again. That's
a good one. I'm glad you picked it because I've never seen it, but I will remember it if I can get it in the sheath. Why doesn't it go in?
All right, and the last fixed blade we have, I hand-picked because it's another sleeper that we don't talk about near enough.
Yeah.
This is the Rake Knives, R-U-I-K-E, Jaeger.
Okay.
Is that how you say Jaeger, J-A-G-E-R?
Yeah, like Jägermeister.
Like, I don't drink, I don't know what that is.
Those of you that know.
Yeah, let me read you some stats here. We got a milled G10 handle, forest green black layers with a nice ever so slight texture in it.
Okay.
And an absolute chunky thick blade of cryogenically heat-treated 14C28N Sandvik.
Dang.
Oh, yes.
Sounds nice.
And less than $100. It's like a survival knife, but stainless. Yeah. How often do you see that?
I would assume not often. That's not really my realm, but I do. You traded me one of your rake knives, your smaller
my
fixed
Hornet.
blade.
I still miss it every day.
And I love that thing. Oh, you miss it?
I miss it. I'll probably get another one. They're so cheap. That one's like $55.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll flash up a knockout of it.
We could trade back.
We could trade back. I don't know. I got a cool spear out of it.
That's true. I did give you my spear. But yeah, Rake makes awesome stuff. I know, as you said, we don't see them very often, so we'll have to push them a bit more.
Injection molded polymer sheath, and what I think is cool is this clip. You just push this little lever right here, and the whole thing can rotate. Woohoo!
Oh, nice. Just like kind of the Canary did.
Yep. Put it in maybe a cant if you're into that, or upside down, or scout carry. However you like to carry your knife. No tools. Easy to do.
Yeah, and this one, it's a heavy fixed blade. I know the sheath is on it, but it feels built, and the handle does fill your hand very well. So just like these other more hard-use fixed blades, I think it fits right along the trend. So get one of those. Check them out.
Yep, and then the last section we have is autos.
Wait, no,
ballast
George.
rings. Oh, wait.
Your wild card.
My wild card. I totally forgot it was there.
This massive machete that's on the table.
Oh, yeah. See, one of my favorite things about working at Blade HQ is you can have a 22-inch machete just sitting on the table and forget it's there.
Or like you can probably walk around the office and no one will ask any questions.
Yeah, I do that with my sword occasionally. I walk by the CEO's office. I'm like, hey, Mark. And he's like, hey, George. Like, no questions.
Nice sword.
But yeah, most machetes are going to be well under $100.
Yeah.
And I grabbed this one. This one's significantly less than that even. This one's the Tramontina, made in Brazil.
Massive.
And these things, they're like the multi-tools of the woods. Like, you can do so much with a machete that it's only limited by your imagination.
Sure. I don't, probably would never use a machete. Not really my thing, but they're cool. For those that do need them, if they're this price, I'd say why not? If you need one, grab one.
Yeah, I got to go to Brazil once upon a time, and I was amazed at what people would do with machetes. Like, they would just strap it on, they would cut, like, they would prepare food with it.
Oh, yeah.
They would clear a path. They would, like,
cool.
flip pancakes with it. Like,
Oh,
it was
really?
the weirdest
It's their
thing.
entire multi-tool in one massive package.
Yeah. Joe Flowers of Condor is one of the world's primo machete experts, and he says, the reason they're so good with machetes is because they know their machetes better than you know your phone.
Wow.
Which
I
I think
can
is
imagine.
high praise. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing what you can do with a machete if you have a little bit of imagination. And you don't have to imagine too hard to see what this would do in like a Bond film or something.
I'd be scared.
I'd be scared
So we're
too.
just going to put it back.
Yep. All right.
A little too much blade.
That is the end of the fixed blade section.
Cool. And so, yeah, let's jump into kind of the random collection section.
Yeah. So
Autos,
this is...
ballast songs, OTFs.
And these ones, are a little more regulated and therefore a little harder to make on the budget side.
Right.
But we still have some options. However, with all of these, if you want like great performance, you might want to spend a little more than 100 and get into like a Benchmade or a ProTech on the autos. And OTFs, they get pricey.
Yeah, there's tons of higher end brands that'll give you a good bang for your buck, but these are also a bang for your buck.
Yeah. So not to say that these aren't great. And the first one is you can't go wrong with a Kalashnikov.
Yes, and we have the cool Warhead model here with the obviously Warhead design, the yellow button, and then the cool red clip.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what plane is. Somebody in the comments who's smarter about history than me, tell me what plane this decor is based off of.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but it definitely has a military history vibe.
Oh, yeah.
But this is just one of the million Kalashnikovs. You want to go Star Wars?
Exactly.
We got you covered. In
could.
fact, that new Mace Windu one.
Oh, with the purple?
Yeah.
I like that one with the silver. I like that one.
Yeah,
Looks
we
cool.
should send one to Samuel L. Jackson.
If he accepts it, we can.
Let's do it. I wonder if he lives in a place we can ship it out.
Samuel L. Jackson, if you're watching. But yeah, Kalashnikovs, they're obviously a classic. They've been around for a while, and you'll see two more in a little bit, as well as another Boker. But yeah, Boker is super reliable and great for, I would say, entry-level automatics.
Yeah, I feel like they own the market there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was just scrolling through our website when we were talking about this video, and if you go to our website and go to like price low to high automatics, you will just keep seeing Kalashnikovs, and then all the Bokers and everything. So they saturated the market, and they make great stuff.
Yep, and then we got the Strike.
Yep.
This one feels a little more
Tactical,
I guess.
Yeah.
I always thought that the Kalashnikov was inspired by the Kalashnikov. This one's more off of the M16. But we have an aluminum handle with steel liners and a secondary safety.
Yeah, that's nice. If you're thinking tactical use, I would definitely want to have a safety on there just to make sure if anything were to happen, it's a little less foolproof. But yeah.
This one comes in a bunch of different flavors, blade shapes, styles, sizes even. It's a good one.
Yeah, they have the mini version as well. I like that one.
All right, then next up on the OTF front, got the F16.
The AKC. This is a cool one.
Yep, and I guess F16, we'll have the Warhawk because we have a military theme going on here.
I like it, but tactical, it fits.
It does. Now, what I really appreciate about this is a lot of reasons people will get an OTF is for the wow factor. Like every time I'm going to see my nephews, my Guardian Tactical's in my pocket. I'm like, hey guys, check it out.
OTF
And they're
in
like,
their face.
wow! And you don't have to go Guardian Tactical. This has a pretty dependable double action, and it's like 50, 60 bucks. Nothing terrible.
No, it's not bad for an OTF. And it has this really nice grip tape, almost inlay there on the handle. So, you know, it's very grippy. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere in your hand if you're really using it.
Yep, and it's all the satisfaction you ever wanted out of an OTF.
It's fidgety. And it does. I like the little like angular button or slide. It's really easy to actuate.
Yeah, I almost feel like it's reminiscent of like Italian stilettos.
It does. It has like the notches on the ends.
Yeah, but I really do appreciate that angle there because it is a nice shelf for the push and the pull.
They thought of it.
Very
they did
nice. Yes, AKC, keep up the good work.
Yeah, they do good stuff.
And
and a balisong.
the balisongs.
We have a Baron Sun. This is just called the butterfly knife, is it not?
I believe it's just called the butterfly knife. Maybe it has a code in there.
Yeah.
But this one is a special one because instead of the channel zinc ones they usually have, this one's one of the steel versions.
Okay, nice.
And I like that because A, we have hardware that is adjustable. So if you wanted to tune your pivot to a little bit tighter or looser, you can, which is awesome. USA made, nice flip in action. I probably wouldn't say this is a competition level balisong.
Yeah, probably not.
But I would say if you were wanting to test the waters of flipping and see if it's your thing, I would point you right here.
Yeah, I think it's a good starting spot, especially seeing the balisong market and how expensive they can be, because obviously they're being made with very high premium materials. This is a great starting point. And it's very EDC, you know, it has the latch. It's almost reminiscent of an old Benchmade balisong.
I kind of get that vibe as well. And another thing you get here is Zen pins. So a Zen pin is where the pin, instead of being in the tang of the blade, it's in the handle.
Right.
And it feels a little more premium. In fact, I can't think of the last time I was at a Bally comp and I saw somebody flipping something without Zen pins.
True. Yeah, I've heard of those. Obviously, I don't know much about balisongs, but it is a nice feature to have.
Yeah, super cool. And I love that Baron Sun is still making a lot of balisongs for less than $100.
They are.
Whatever color you like, whatever style, size, you can probably find one in your budget.
Yeah, they're nice. And if you are afraid of a live blade, there are trainers that are available under $100, like well under $100.
Yeah,
so
in fact, an honorable mention of that is the Zenith trainer from Flightanium.
Yes.
We were going to show one, but we were out of stock.
Sad.
But we heard from them that the Zenith V2 is coming, and that one,
that'll be nice.
it's nice. So stay tuned.
Look forward to that.
And then wild cards.
Oh, these fun little guys. We'll show this one first. The Desert Warrior Mini Kalashnikov.
Yeah, so for those of you who are unaware, the Desert Warrior story is once upon a time we were trying to order Kalashnikovs in the Desert Warrior, which is where it has like a OD green handle and a bronzy blade.
Like army vibes.
Yep, but then somebody's like, I accidentally typed an extra S, Desert Warrior, lol, and then they told the photographer, she's like, hey, lol, I'm going to mock it up, and they sent it to Boca, and they're like, okay, lol, here's your MOQ, and we're like, lol, we'll buy some, and now it's a whole thing.
Years later, there are millions of them.
And we still laugh every time.
But yeah, this is a fun little addition to our random section. I think, you know, we talked about the full-size Kalashnikov. It's reliable, it's fun to use, super snappy Boca action. And this one's in the cool Tanto blade, one of the newer blade variations that we have.
And then we have the Wiener Warrior.
Look.
What do they call this one?
I think it's the cocktail
The cocktail Wiener.
Because it's so tiny. But yeah, the exact same build out. It just has the hot dog blade.
It's so fun.
Another little gag knife, but you can also use it. I've heard of people using them, and it's a sharp little knife, so...
Yeah, I remember we were at Blade Show. After the first day, somebody had tagged us on Instagram on their story, and they were in some super nice steakhouse in Atlanta, slicing a steak with the XXL Wiener Warrior.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine just being that poor
iconic.
waiter, like fancy establishment, see some guy with an 8-inch
pull it
hot
out.
dog.
Oh my God. Yeah, that one's a little too big, the XXL. Maybe the standard size is the right size, but to each their own. Exactly.
Yeah. So I think the moral of the story here is there is still a world of quality cutlery under $100.
Oh, absolutely. And this is not everything we have. We obviously have so many knives on our website. So definitely go there, check out knives under 100. There'll be a whole ton of them, and they will all be just as amazing as these.
Okay. Now, what's your favorite knife on the table?
Favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Probably the Vision FG. I've
The
always
Vision
wanted
FG?
one of those. I
You
know
get one.
it's a wild card knife, but man, I love this thing. I know me and Jacob out here, we've been talking about them.
Like for weeks now.
Oh, Jacob has been wanting one for months, maybe years. I can't.
Why doesn't he just get one?
I can't get him to buy one, but they're awesome. So yeah, that's probably my favorite. What about you?
Oh,
I already
it's going to
knew
be
that.
the QSP Canary
Yeah, that
Fixed
one's
Blade.
sweet. That's probably my runner-up.
Yeah, I might need to get one of these. I have so many fixed blades, but
That's
I always
true,
find
you do.
room in my collection for one more.
Yeah, they're good.
Yep.
I love it.
Well, let us know what your favorite knife on the table is, and most importantly, What did we miss? There's a ton of great knives that we did not talk about, and you in the community know them. Don't let us get away with it. Let us know what are some awesome knives under 100 that we didn't talk about here.
Yeah, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you guys next time.